What if next time someone asks you to have a seat, you said no thanks? I'm the CEO and founder of Motion Infusion, and yes, our mission is to get people, organizations, and teams in motion, not only literally as in please don't have a seat, but also getting in motion as in making a change.
I loved Laura as a speaker. She was actually very dynamic, she was engaging. I loved the amount of time she made us participate.
I thought she was great, very energetic, worked the stage very well, was good about engaging with the audience and keeping us into the talk as well.
She has been featured on MSNBC, the New York Times, Fox News, ABC News, US News, NPR, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a massive round of applause to your keynote speaker, Laura Putnam.
We are born to move, but we are told to sit. When we move, we get healthier. But when we move, we also get happier.
Just her message with, the gap between knowing and doing, her being able to, I guess, kind of reiterate that message was really cool, I thought.
Promoting health is really about getting people to make better choices, and most people actually know what those choices are. It's just a matter of closing the knowing and doing gap.
She incorporated some diversity into her speaking, which is super important to me, and it draws me in.
One of the rude awakenings for me when I entered the workforce was just how much we sit and how much the modern workplace literally drives us to our chairs.
There's been a lot of discussion about engaging senior leaders. And while senior leaders certainly set the tone, they set policies, and they allocate resources, there's evidence to suggest that, in fact, managers hold the key and may account for up to 70% of the variance of their team members' engagement with any kind of well-being offering.
So I first met Laura Putnam out in San Francisco, where we were speaking on the same program at Fitbit Captivate. She has a knack for taking topics that we think we know and refreshing them so we think about those issues with new eyes.
How do we start to change the narrative from one in which we put so much pressure on the individual to make these changes, and instead look for ways to really change the culture and environment that surrounds every individual so that well-being just becomes a way of life.
Author Laura Putnam is joining us this morning live from San Francisco. She wrote the book on workplace wellness, what works, what doesn't work.
The impact on our mental health is the second act of the pandemic. And people are not waiting for their employers to get it right. They're either walking with their feet and leaving, or they're quietly quitting.
If we don't have energy, if our employees don't have energy, then we can't do a good job. And that's really kind of the here and now. A lot of times wellness, we think more far out in the future with those scary diseases that we want to prevent. But really it's about having energy and being connected to one another, and also just being happy. We know that if employees are happier, then they're going to do a much better job.
Touching base with each of the team members every week, asking them simple questions like, what are you working on and how can I help?
What matters more than becoming our better selves? And yet, if we look at where many of us may find ourselves, we are doing anything but becoming our better selves when we are at work. Rather, we are overworked, we are overstressed, and we are overweight. And in fact, if we pull back and take a look at what's happening around our country and even around our world, we might describe this as nothing short of a tidal wave.
What I think sets Laura apart is her energy.
Her energy is infectious.
I think she's totally inspirational, and she hits on things that make you pause and think.
You could just see the passion that she had for what she speaks on and what she does, and I would love to have her speak at an event for our company too.